there since like about 5:30 trying to get this Zoom thing on. That's why I
Oh,
always go on early
Jesus
because I always know it's going
Christ.
to act up. You can hear me all right
Yeah,
now. Oh, cool.
it's just
Thank you.
the
Thank you so much.
yeah, it's a little choppy.
Oh, it's
Of course.
okay.
I've talked to you before, right?
No, no, not me. I spoke to Mary. Me and Mary chatted in May on Instagram. Um,
I remember your name for some reason.
she's probably
Oh,
talked about
okay.
me. I'd been message
Yeah.
I've been messaging Mary quite a while, and we'd been messaging each other, and we had a really good chat. And we kind of keep in contact. You know,
Uh,
so you might have heard my name. She probably said that guy from the
it,
UK that I couldn't
she's,
understand because I'm from.
no, she used to live in the UK.
Oh, cool, cool. I'm right up in the north, so I'm probably about 120 miles from Edinburgh. So I'm nowhere near sort of London.
Oh,
I'm what we call
I
the
see.
northeast
Cool.
of England, so it's quite
Cool,
cold.
cool. A
So
Northie.
the northeast,
Got,
Newcastle, near Newcastle.
man.
So how is
Okay, yeah, I've heard of it. I miss going there.
when was the last time you came to the UK?
It was whenever the Olympics were there,
Oh yeah,
like
2012.
probably 8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years. Yes,
Yeah,
the
it's been a
Olympics.
minute.
Yeah, it was a great summer.
Jeez,
That.
time flies.
Yep, it certainly does.
I had fun.
Well, I have a little girl, like you have children. I have a little girl, and she was born 2 years ago on Boxing Day. So, and
Aw.
those 2 years have just gone. They really have. They've just gone. She's from a baby to a, having kids. It just goes. It's crazy. Can you hear me all right?
I know. I
Oh.
told my kids. I told my kids the other day, I need new kids. So I'm gonna trade you guys in for new kids. You guys are too old now. You don't want to hang out with me. You don't, they
my
just want to be on their iPads and their Xbox, and they don't.
well, my little
I'm like, I need a baby. This is, yeah.
my little girl isn't like that yet. She's just a little girl who runs about and has little tantrums. But
Aw,
she's really cute. She's really cute. She's called a Nona.
I love that.
It's
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah, it's Latin for goddess of the harvest. So it was
Oh, wow.
yeah. My
There's a
wife
lot to
is
live up to.
my wife is Scottish, so she'd heard it back home in Scotland, and when I heard it, I thought, well, that's it. That's the name because nobody else will be called that in school
Yeah, that's
because
cool.
it's
I know.
unusual.
My son has a very unique name.
Breaker, yeah, Breaker. That's an unusual name. Cool.
Breaker.
It's nice having unusual
I
names.
know.
So how's
It
things?
suits him.
Yeah, and Nona suits her actually because she's this little cute little blonde. Um, she's yeah, she's. I'm not being biased, but you are when you've got kids. But she is very cute. She's very cute. Doesn't take
I
after her
bet.
mum and dad, like, but there you go. But she takes after her mother.
Oh my god.
So, I
That's
mean,
funny.
how's things been with you in lockdown? I mean, it's been a strange year for us all in like media and stuff and entertainment. Um, how have you been? Have you been creative in that lockdown with your interior design and things?
Kind of forced. I think it's forced everyone to get a little creative. They've had to get creative in just the way they live in general
Yeah,
without being able to go to restaurants and movies and entertainment.
yeah,
With the kids, the my age kids, we would go bowling and roller skating and
yeah.
all these things, and they can't even go to the parks anymore. So
No,
um
no.
I've gotten creative. I think they've gotten a little lazier, to be honest. It's like
Yeah,
their Xbox and their iPad. That's, their play dates are virtual, and it's a trip. I feel really bad. I was telling my son last night.
yeah,
I feel the worst for the kids because I feel like they're missing out. They're not in class with their classmates. They're not socializing, and it's really hard for them.
Yeah, it's
Doing school online, it's just so weird. It's like it's creepy weird. But for me, I've been fortunate enough to the type of work that I do.
yeah,
I mean, aside from real estate, I mostly do interior design now because I'm not out and about meeting people. So
mm,
a lot of my work I do online anyway.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
designing, I'm picking furniture, and then once everything gets like delivered, then we have like for example, this week I'll be leaving on Wednesday to go to Vegas for
yeah,
to install a big um and then I go there for 4 days or 3 days, and we get all the furniture in, all the art hung. There's people painting, and it's like
yeah,
you know
yeah.
it's a shit show for like 3 days, but then it looks amazing. So
And then you can
I've been just designing. I have like say it again.
I was going to say it's like you'll come back and then just like kind of just relax for Christmas, I guess.
Yeah, there's really not much we can do. I'm
No.
really excited for this Christmas though, because the kids and I actually moved
Mm.
3 days ago. We were living in an apartment, and we
Yeah,
moved into a house, and so now we have a front yard and a backyard and a gate and a fence in it, and everybody has big rooms, and
yeah,
it's just really beautiful, and it's new, it's brand new, and so we're excited to spend our first Christmas here.
yeah.
Hopefully some of the boxes will be unpacked.
We're in
um
we live in a flat,
it just
so
feels good to be.
yeah, we live in a flat, like a condo, as you would call it, like like an apartment. Um, so it's a bit restrictive, to be honest, for a little girl, but we're hoping to get a house next year.
Yeah, it makes the world of difference. I
Yeah,
mean, the second we got in, even the dog was happy. He's like, "Oh, I don't have to be on a leash, and I can just
yeah,
shit in my own backyard."
yeah. That'd be like my little one. She'd not be on a leash. She'd have a garden to run about in, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. It does. It changed the energy in all of us, I think. So
Yeah. So
it helps
I
me
mean,
to relax.
what did you want to be growing up? I mean, did you always want to be an interior designer? I know you've been a model and all sorts of things. Was that the sort of, did you want to get into entertainment or something like that?
I did actually. Well, for the longest time, I wanted to be, or I always wanted to be a model since I was
Yeah.
little, because where I grew up, there weren't kids like me. I was the only black kid in my whole
Mm,
school, and pretty much my own community, and I
yeah.
was raised by white people, and so I was never looked at in school like the pretty girl. I was always like the oddball, or
Hmm.
like the black sheep.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and so I always wanted to feel pretty, and I would look at models, and I'd be like, wow, that would be just such a cool job. So I
Hmm.
always wanted to be a model, and I always wanted to be an interior designer. I've wanted to do both of these things since a really young age.
Yeah.
And I mean, I used to have, I mean, if you could see, I'll probably post some pictures one day, but I would have these like little corny photo shoots,
Yeah.
and I would have like my big afro and my weird clothes. And I was like,
Oh,
I really, so yeah, I kind of manifested all of that. I always dreamed of being this like cool mom
yeah.
that would go and do design jobs and just be like, with funky style. And
I,
somehow,
I
yeah, I
kind of,
made it.
your style kind of, I don't know. I mean, when you watch somebody on telly, I mean, you kind of, on TV, you kind of try and guess what their traits are. You try and guess what they like. And I don't know, I can't decide whether you feel more comfortable in a tracksuit and a pair of trainers or a dress. I'm going to go with a tracksuit because that's the way I think you are. I think you're the kind of maybe a casual kind of smart casual. I may be wrong. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I, yeah, I like to wear a tracksuit. I think, well, I've had the same one on for 3 days now, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I'm the
um,
same.
but I like to switch it up. I've always had fun with style. It's kind of like interior design. I don't believe in rules. Well, I don't believe in rules like really in life, period. But
Yeah, yeah,
in my fashion, in the way I decorate a house, I don't go in with, people are like, don't paint the room black, it'll make it look smaller. Or don't
yeah, yeah,
I don't follow the rules. And I think it's the kind of the same way with dressing. I'll put on a lot of my friends are like, oh, it looks good on you. I could never pull that off, or
Yeah.
I would never think to put that together. And I think it's kind of cool. I've learned, I don't have to be. I'm not pristine. Everything in my closet isn't designer,
No, you
but but I can mix it up, and I like to have fun with clothes. I think it's cool to try different things. But yeah, I
I
would,
think
if I could, wear a tracksuit every day and just maybe throw on some heels with it when it was time to get a little gussied up. Then that's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
would
Well,
do.
I'm the same. I'd much rather be in a hoodie, a pair of tracksuit bottoms, and some trainers. To be honest, that's all
Yeah,
when I'm in the house,
but
that's all I wear.
the good thing is that's kind of the vibe nowadays. Like you go out and people just look homeless, and it's like that's how they're supposed to dress. Like
Yeah,
they pay thousands of dollars for these like ripped up jeans and shoes that looks like they've been thrown out a window and ran
yeah,
over by
yeah,
a semi truck, and it's like cool. So I think I had on Crocs and sweatpants yesterday with like fluorescent orange socks,
yeah.
and it was like normally I would look crazy, and like that's just kind of the vibe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen your Instagram. I mean, you have got there's a lot of fashion out that you have. Would you ever think that? I mean, me and my wife started watching Selling Sunset when it came on. We watched them all. And my wife's
Yeah, I love it.
very, fashion conscious. She loves her clothes. Do you ever think,
Yeah.
like, when you've got these on, that you're influencing so many, like, we're not even going to say a few thousand, millions of people now, but millions of ladies people around the world with your fashion, really?
I do, and I love it. It's funny. I've been kind of paying attention to what people. I'm still getting used to this whole posting on social media and how to
Yeah,
post and what to post and what people want to see and what they don't want to see. And I'm trying to kind of reel it in and narrow it down and make it a little more, make a more sense and give people what they want to see. And the
yeah,
three main questions that I get asked all the time, I get asked about my fashion, skincare, and like fitness routine and like diet.
yeah, yeah.
So I think it'll be fun to well, once I get unpacked and I can actually get dressed again and
Yeah, no,
um,
it's we want to move next year, and I'm not looking forward to that. To be honest, it's a stressful thing.
it really is. And I wasn't planning to move so quickly. I was planning to wait a little bit until after the holidays, but
Mm,
we found this amazing house that was just perfect, and I felt like it was literally designed. Like if you look at it from the
mm,
outside, that looks like somewhere Amanza would live.
yeah,
It's white with black trim. I do a lot of like black and white, and then bold colors are like funky tile in the bathroom,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
it's literally just like that. And so it just came about, and so I'm in the middle of two huge design jobs right now, over 4,000 square foot homes,
wow.
and then we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I'm homeschooling, and it's about to be Christmas, and everybody has COVID, and then I just decided, oh, okay, yeah, let's move on top of that. Let me just throw
It's just,
myself
yeah, you
into
might as well just put it on top. Oh, next
yeah,
Christmas, next Christmas will be different, man. Honestly, it'll be. We'll hopefully be back in a normal world. Hopefully next year.
yeah, I hope so too.
It's not been great.
It's pretty crazy,
Yeah. So how did you
but
be?
so far we've all been healthy, and thank God I haven't gotten the virus, and I've known so many people though now. I feel like I've dodged the bullet so many times. It's like, oh,
It is. It kind of frightens you. You don't. It really comes closer to home when you actually know somebody that's got it. You go, wow, that's pretty scary.
yeah, I know
At
it
first,
is.
we didn't. I think at first we were kind of like, oh, this virus is about. I'm going to protect myself. But then suddenly you're kind of going, oh, God, my friend's mum's got it. Oh, my man, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh no, that's just frightening. It just seemed to happen overnight. But you know, hopefully next year, man. Hopefully next year. So, so how did you become involved in Selling Sunset then?
well, so I've known Jason
You have,
and
yes.
Brett for over 20 years,
Wow,
and
20.
I knew them back when we first met. I had just moved to LA, and they were attorneys. I don't know if you knew that, but they used to be attorneys. They haven't always been real estate
Yeah,
brokers, and so um, we've been friends forever. And then once when I kind of stopped modeling, well, I stopped modeling for a while because I was pregnant and having kids,
Yeah.
like for 2 years in a row. My kids are very close in age; they're a year and a half apart.
Yeah.
And then once I got my divorce and I decided to go into design, what I had actually gone to school for and always loved,
Mm-hmm.
I started designing homes or designing like bedrooms, kids' rooms
Yeah,
at
yeah.
first. And then Jason, about the same time, Jason was getting into real estate. And then probably, 3 years after he was working for another real estate broker, that's when he opened the Oppenheim Group. And so
Yeah.
he brought me in to stage a couple jobs here and there, and once it's kind of like he's kind of like a big brother or like a relative. Like you have to kind of prove yourself to Jason, but
Yeah,
before he's
Yeah.
fully committed to giving you a chance. And so I staged a home for him. It was actually the guy who built the $43 million home that we.
Oh,
the one
yeah.
big one.
The really big one. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So his name is Jeff, and Jeff was selling a house. I think it was like, I don't know, a few $1,000,000. And Jason's like, we need somebody to stage it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do it? It has to be done in 4 days. This was and I was like, yeah. And this was the first time I had ever staged a home. I'd always just done design.
Yeah.
So I did it and I killed it. And the house sold fully furnished. They bought everything.
Yeah.
And so Jason was impressed. And so from that point, he had me, he kind of named me the Oppenheim Group's interior design specialist. And
Right.
so I was doing that. I would always, I would stage some of their homes. He would refer me. I would go in and give people advice and all that. And then they got the show, but I didn't have my real estate license when they did the first season.
Yes, he joined season 2.
So it didn't make sense for me to join the cast because I couldn't, I wasn't an agent.
Yeah.
And I also was kind of like, I don't know. Reality shows can go one of two ways.
They can
either be really, really good,
yeah.
or my friends could be like assholes, and it's gonna, tank. And so I kind of was glad that they dipped their toe in the water before I, even considered jumping in.
Yeah.
And once I saw the show and I saw that everybody was portrayed correctly and it was so well done. Jason said, you should just get your real estate license. Like, you're here all the time. You're you're showing, walking houses with me. Like, even if you don't want to actively sell, you can, if you have your license and you refer us, you get a commission. So I was like, you know what? Yes. Any extra way to make money, fine. So I got my real estate license, and then, they got picked up for the next season.
Yeah.
And it just was organic. It made sense to add me to the cast because I knew everybody for so long. Best friends with Jason and Brett and Mary for over 20 years. I was already in the office. We're like family. So it was kind of a no-brainer. Plus, I always joke to them too. I'm like, you guys needed to add a little ethnicity.
Yeah, exactly.
You needed to bring the melanin to the show, and so I joke with them. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it made sense. It was natural. It was a very natural fit. I already knew everybody in the office for the most part. I didn't know a couple of the girls. I had never met Maya.
Yeah.
But I'd heard of Maya, but then, and I'd met Heather just a couple of times, but I knew Christine and I knew Davina. And so, yeah, it was just kind of an easy decision at that point.
Do you think it obviously helped, going into a show like that, and you already knew the three guys? I mean, Jason and Brett, they come across as kind of like, they're very fair, but if you don't do something right, then they will tell you. A tight ship, should we say? A tight ship, but fair, I would say.
It's a tight ship. And, Jason is so... he's so much like a brother to me that, but we're the same age, but it's almost like he's an older brother because he's just so successful and he's just so smart. And he does so much for myself, for my kids. He's helped us, when I got my divorce and I couldn't get into an apartment because I had terrible credit.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, and Jason just kept seeing me get turned down, and he co-signed for us for an apartment. He's always been that kind of person, and so you don't want to disappoint him. So
no.
when you mess up or you do something wrong, it's like, oh God, you feel bad. It's like almost like a parent, you don't want to disappoint the person.
Yeah.
kind of looking after you. And
I think,
but I will say this.
Yeah.
I feel like, in class, if there's a teacher's pet, I feel like Mary and I kind of have that solidified. So
Yeah, oh, definitely.
it's less scary.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know what Mary would have done if you hadn't joined, to be honest, to keep her back kind of thing, to be
Right?
there. Because you're
Yeah,
very loyal. I mean, you're
it's
obviously
a
very
trip,
loyal.
these girls.
It comes across. Your loyalty to Mary, certainly, and Jason and Brett, but certainly Mary, because she's obviously had a few instances during the series where you've thought, look, watching it as a viewer, you've thought, oh man, that's just not fair, but you're there to kind of
Yeah.
put your hand on the shoulder, put your hand on the shoulder and say it's fine.
Yeah, I'm very fair, and I don't know. I don't know how well everybody's getting along after the season. After when people watch the show back, and we haven't seen it. We filmed for
No,
months, and then you see, like, you're like, oh, she said that when I
yeah,
walked
yeah,
away, or it stirs up a little drama again, and then you hear people talking in the press, and things can get misconstrued, and and I don't know, I think a lot of the girls have had it out for each other a little bit, like, oh, I heard you said this,
mm,
and to be honest, out of everybody, I'm probably the only girl that actively talks to every one of the cast members regularly, and
yeah, yeah,
it's not because of course I love Mary. Mary's always going to be like my number one, but I'm also very fair. And I'll tell anybody how it is. Like, if Mary ever messed up and did anything foul, like, I would tell her too. I'm kind of I'm 44. I just turned 44, and I feel like I just have a way of, I don't know. I just like to go to the source. You got to be honest and
yeah.
just be upfront and just kind of get shit out in the open, and just, I don't like drama. Honestly, I really can't stand it. It's not my thing.
No.
In my house, my kids aren't even allowed to say the word hate. Like, we don't. That's just, we're very positive people, and so.
Well, I mean, I think that comes with, as we get older. I mean, I think it comes with age and wisdom, doesn't it? And you kind of like, you comes with your experiences. You kind of go, well, I've learned from that. I know how to deal with that. If that situation comes up, I think that only comes with our age, doesn't it? And I'm in 51 now. So, but I only look about 40.
So, yeah.
So like you, we I use the same moisturiser as you. You saw me, you'd think, is it what? No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I think it comes with life experience.
And then just especially like right now in the world that we're in, the climate of the world, it's like there's no time for bullshit. It's just, we have way more important things to do than figure out if somebody had a secret bridal party or didn't get invited to the sleepover. It's like, come on, let's all be adults.
It just makes good telly, though. You see, that's the problem. It just makes good telly. Unfortunately, that's the way.
You're right.
It just makes good telly.
Sitting around combing one another's hair and kumbayaing, nobody would want to freaking watch it.
No.
It's like, okay, this is boring.
It's like we have a program called I'm a Celebrity over here. I don't know if you've heard of it, and it's where all the celebrities get put in a jungle in Australia. And
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and they have to do tasks, what they call bush tucker trials, where they have to eat insects and get put in a coffin with snakes and stuff.
Oh, and I would last 0.0 seconds.
Honestly, most years there's a kind of, you get an odd celebrity who kind of gets a bit on somebody's back, but this year they all got on, but it was still successful. Funnily enough, all the celebrities got on. And that doesn't normally happen, because you normally think that if they don't, then that work, then the more viewers go up and the audience figure goes up. But actually it didn't. It actually, because they were all nice people. They were all really, really nice people. So you kind of just went, oh, well, they're just nice. I like them. There's nothing to not like about them.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, remember the show Friends?
Yeah.
How well did that do?
Yeah.
It was called Friends. And that was one of the most successful television programs of all time.
Yeah, it still is, yeah.
I think that I do feel like maybe this, the coming seasons will be a little more, I think people are going to kind of grow into a little more maturity and getting along. I think it's also because a lot of the girls, they didn't know one another that well. I didn't know, a few of them that well, and you kind of just learn. I don't know if Chriselle and Heather will, or no, Chriselle and Christine. I don't know if that friendship will ever be mended. I
Well,
kind of
yeah, that's
have
a tough
very
one.
little
That one.
doubt with that.
Yeah,
I think that's a lost cause. We all kind of just got to throw our hands up there. But
yeah.
I wonder, it's going to be interesting if we start filming again to see how everybody, how
Fingers crossed.
everyone.
I mean,
I know.
next year, once we get these vaccines out there, and hopefully we can. I imagine we'll on red carpet, and most of my work in London at red carpet and awards and things is I've done 2 this year. I normally do quite a lot, so it's just impacted everything
Yeah, it's
really.
so different. It's all.
But next year,
Yeah,
next
it's
year,
very interesting. Yeah, next year. I hope so. I certainly know that my situation is less stressful now than it was,
yeah,
when we were filming. And it's kind of, I would like to be able to show the world that I am not just this like basket case of a train wreck that's always late. And
yeah.
I actually, I've had a year and a half to kind of settle into my new situation and having the kids full time by myself and stuff. So I know my light has come back on quite a bit, and I would love to be able to share that with the world.
I think that. I mean, you've been late. I don't know whether you kind of, as a viewer, you're sitting and you're watching, say, Heather and Brett, say at one of the apartments, viewerships, and you're thinking, oh, where is she? She's going to be late. And you're going, where is she? She's still not there. What's happening? I just think that happens. That just adds to the drama of the whole thing, I think.
It was tough, man. Like, we started filming, and then literally a month later is when the children's father disappeared. So it was like, I was already filming this reality show, and then, my life was going very smooth. Every other week, I was totally kid-free. For 1 week, they'd be safe with their dad and having, a good time. And then it's like, the cameras were already rolling, the ink had already dried on the contract. Like, I couldn't turn back. So I had to just go with it. And there was so much going on outside of what you see on television. And it was like, sometimes when I was late, I was literally coming from like a meeting with my attorney that I'd just spoken for 2 hours about how we're going to get full custody of these kids. And it was so emotional and so like taxing. And then you walk into the office and everybody's talking about how you're late, and like in my head I'm still thinking about the conversation that I just had about my kid's missing father.
Exactly.
And I'm like, it was a lot.
People don't see that, you see. I think the thing is with shows is people expect you to be this person on telly, and they don't really think about what goes on when the cameras stop rolling, as it were. And that's just the way. I just think it's the way telly works, isn't it? I'm shopping telly over here, and I do a bit like what your home shopping network is. I do a lot of that stuff over here. So I'm a presenter on shopping channels.
Oh, that's cool. I want to do that one day. I plan to have my own line of home goods.
Yeah.
And I can just see me like trying selling them on the BBC shopping network.
Yeah, we have QVC, QVC, and which is equivalent of home shopping network in the States.
People make a ton of money on that.
If
you can come up with a good product, I mean, people are like secretly. I don't think people realize how much. Like one of the housewives of Beverly Hills, I believe, Lisa Rinna.
Yeah.
She sells on QVC, and I mean, I don't think people realize how much money you can make from that. Because it's not like I'm not sitting at home watching the shopping network, but I bet you my Aunt Kathy is in Vincennes, Indiana.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I always say to people, if you can imagine, this is how I sum shop and tell you, if you can imagine a shop, say on the high street, a shop, and they are selling towels, whatever, whatever, household goods. You might get 1 or 2 people walk into that shop and buy that product, but you can sell hundreds and hundreds of those on a shopping channel in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's insane.
You can sell.
And now I'm sure it's even gotten more since COVID. I know any friend that I have that has online business has just gone through the roof because that's where everybody's shopping.
Yeah, it's massive. Shopping channels, the shopping channels. I do a lot of jewelry stuff as well on channels over here, and they've really gone through the roof since COVID hit. Unfortunately, that's because everybody's stopping in by spending money. But I just want to.
My friend said he feels bad. He's like, everybody's losing their jobs, and my like, and my job has gone like 100, literally 100 times more than what it was doing
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And it was already doing great. So, but he took that and so he started a foundation. I was like, well, at least you're doing something with what you're making, because he felt so bad. And so he started this really awesome foundation where
Right.
he goes into the inner city and finds like the most, like the best kid in the worst neighborhood that just like doesn't have a chance. And he started a mentorship so that these kids can actually have a chance to be, successful entrepreneurs themselves one day. And so, yeah, I think that's really cool. And I plan to do a lot of that too with my design work.
You're going to get on there.
I love to.
QVC, get yourself on there. You'll sell loads.
Oh my gosh! Believe me, I have a product right now that I've been working on, and I just have to get some samples. But I know already, because I've kind of shopped it with some of my friends. Like, hey, what do you? And they're like, I would totally buy that. I would buy 10 of them. Like, I would.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we'll see. 2021.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I've sold everything, Amanza, honestly. I've sold everything on television. You name it, I've sold it. Oh dear. I've had 16 years of shop and telly, and I've sold every product under the sun on shop and telly. Oh, honestly. Some weird ones.
Well, I know who to call when I get my sample. When I get my sample, I'll be like, do you think this would do well? You'll be able to tell me.
Totally. I'll sell it for you. Anyway, I just want to finally ask you very quickly, I appreciate your time. Obviously, we were a little bit late tonight. I do apologise. Just technology just gets you sometimes. What is it about?
No, you're fine.
What is it about the show that has made it so popular, do you think, around the world? Obviously, Netflix is you've got this global audience, millions of people. What do you think is it that people tune into?
I think it's a combination of things, to be honest. I think people, we're in LA and we're used to seeing these mansions and fashion and beautiful cars and beautiful people and beautiful weather all the time. And like, even our restaurants are something different than what we have in the Midwest or in other states. It's like a high class type of thing. People like to see that. It's almost like a fantasy world. I know when I first moved to LA, I would drive through the hills and just gawk at like the gated homes with, I'd never seen homes like that in real life. I'd seen them on like movies, and when you even see them on movies, you're like, whoa, I can't even imagine living or being there, walking in that house. So I think people love that. They like to see all the luxury homes and this and that. And then also reality shows have just become so popular in the past couple decades because of the drama, and people like to watch beautiful people. I mean, everybody in our office is freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad, are they? They're not bad. They're not bad looking, really, are they? Really nice on the eye, as they say over here.
And then it's like our show came out. Well, the second season came out in a time where, COVID. It actually did well for our show. Also, it came out. Everybody had been at home for already like 2 months. They'd watched all of Netflix. Now there's this new show that they can just kind of escape from whatever they're dealing with, and it's kind of like just like a date, like a fantasy. It doesn't look real because it looks too good to be true,
but it is,
and people like that.
Yeah.
But then I also think because of the way our group is, this is one of the reasons why they gave us the show in the first place. Is it's such a unique bunch. Like, it's a small office. And like I said, we've all been friends. Well, like a handful of us have been friends for 2 decades. So it's like, it's not just a bunch of people cast and then put on a show to get to know each other. We really are like family. My kids call Jason and Uncle Brett and Uncle Jason. It's Aunt Mary and Uncle Romaine. Or actually, my kids call him Uncle Lettuce because Romaine.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a kind of a combination of all that,
Oh, it's cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate your time. I'm gonna head off and get my little girl's supper ready. So with my wife, so we'll have a night. It's dark over here. It gets dark at about 3:30. Okay. And it gets pretty dark at that time over here now because we're obviously in winter. But it's we have a lot of dark at the moment. It's just quite depressing.
Yeah.
Roll on next year, Manza. Roll on next year.
I know, it really does. I feel like Yeah. So you should message me on Instagram and put how I know it's you. Put
Yes.
a bunch of what kind of emojis and put like
What do you want me
I
to
don't know, just
put?
put a bunch of emojis at the front so I know to check it.
Okay, well, I'll put. I'll tell
A
you what I'll
shopping
do.
cart.
I'll put 3 smiley faces.
Okay, cool.
3
That
smiley
sounds good.
faces.
And then okay, and then I'll know to respond because I just scroll through. There's so many, and if I don't know who it is, then I just
Oh yeah,
usually skip right past
honestly,
it.
yeah, it's totally understandable. I mean, I speak to Mary, and Mary will sometimes say something, but then she'll put a little heart, or she'll put a little to say that she loves what I've done, or or something like that, because she's so
Yeah,
busy. It's just you've got so many followers, you can't keep a track of it. Say hi to Mary for me, because I haven't messaged her or anything. She's a sweet lady, lovely lady.
oh yeah, I will. I'll probably see her in the next couple of days. She's gonna probably come over and see the new place in the next couple of days with
Cool.
Romaine. So I'll tell her that we spoke, and
She's in
I'll tell her
Paris.
you said hello.
Yeah, she's in Paris, so that's nice.
I know, yeah.
Somewhere where I've been to LA twice. I've been to Vegas 3 times, but I've not been to Paris.
Oh, I've not been to Paris either, so I'm gonna find Mr. Right, and then he can
Yeah,
take me there.
cool. Well, I met my wife at 45, so there's still time.
Yes, I have 1 year.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll just tell you very briefly, Amanza, very briefly, we met because she used to watch me on my shopping channel.
Oh wow, that's hilarious.
She was a fan. Well, she was a fan. She used to watch it with her mother, and then she sent me a message on Facebook, and we got together.
Oh my gosh, that's so fucking random.
So, if it wasn't for shopping telly, I wouldn't be married with a little girl.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I got to get on the QVC.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Good evening to you, Amanza, and
All
stay
right.
safe. Have a great Christmas and New Year, and we'll maybe speak again in the future. Thanks for your time.
You too.
Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Okay, be well.
Same
Bye.
to you.
Good.
I couldn't get on, right? And I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? What's going on with this thing? So it got to like 6:10. So I try LA. I try ringing the people. So I sent them a message, and they said she's trying to get on, but the stupid Zoom kept defaulting. It kept defaulting to another account. That stupid bloody Sarah's account off the other night. So they said, here's Amanza's number. Give her a ring.
Yeah.
So I spoke to her on the phone.
Oh, cool. Nice one.
She was like, hiya, I can't get it. She was so cool about it, mate. I said, I'm so sorry. And then we've been speaking for like nearly 40 minutes. She's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Such a nice woman. We had a right laugh talking about it.
Good.
She says, do I know you? And I says, well, no, you don't. She says, I've heard your name. I says, well, it might be Mary.
It's probably Mary.
Mary might have said, I spoke to this guy called Andy in the UK. And she's like saying, oh, message me and stuff. She's trying to get her products on the shop and tell me. She's trying to get her. She's 44.
Yeah, I thought she was older actually.
Yeah, she's 44. She's just turned 44.
I thought she was older because of the Botox. I think she was a wee bit older.
Right. Now I'm going to have to tell that guy I'm not going to get there till 8:30 now.
Okay, she'll be right, won't you?
Oh. I didn't get on till, we didn't get started till 20 to 7.
Well, I did. I thought, oh, there's when I came out of the room. What was I doing? I was genuinely
Couldn't
getting
believe
something.
it, man.
And I thought, oh, silence.
I couldn't believe it. I was getting frustrated. I was like, oh, this isn't going to go ahead. But the agency were really nice and said, here's our number.
Yeah.
Here's her number. Give her a call. And I spoke twice to her and she was really cool. She says, Yeah, and so I managed to get
And
the
there's
meat.
a hammer as well through there, by the way, and when I found it beside my,
Oh my god, yeah, I put
Yeah.
it behind your face.
yeah, it's now behind my my cushion.
We're chatting about everything. I chatted about how I met you, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh my," she went, "Oh my god, that's effing incredible."
Sorry, I'm being
That's how-
rude, but
That's how they.
well, she swears like a trooper.
Yeah, she
I've
does.
seen
She
that.
does. She does. She didn't swear during the interview. To be fair, that was just. I think she was just amazed. She says, "I'll have to get on shopping telly so that I'll meet Mr. Right."
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's still not met anyone yet.
No,
Mm.
really cool though. Really cool interview.
That's a shame she's not met anyone yet. Mommy's bringing your potato to the boil fire and put your veg in. I know.
I know, darling. Come on, come here.
Mm.
No, 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 no.
That's covered in chicken blood and get my plastic bottle on.
It's really strange though. You listen, I'm ringing her up and she's like, "Hi," you know, like, "Oh, there you gone." Oh, it's weird photo on the phone. She was like, "Oh yeah, if you message me, well, she says, let's think of something that I know it's you, so I don't know it's just like a fan or whatever."
Yeah.
This is what you got. She says, "Well, I'll put three smiley faces, and then you'll know it's me."
Nice one.
I know.
Right.
Right.
Chicken
Okay.
blood.
Okay. I'm getting out the way. I'm gonna have to get in touch with David and say that I'm running late. It was cool. Really cool. She talked, mind. Woof. She talked and talked. I couldn't shut her up at one point. Yeah. Right. I'll just take these in now. Out the way. I'm sweating.